Hey, what's up, Questers, and welcome to BMF, the unofficial home for all things Oculus Quest. Today we're talking Oculus Quest 2 and everything you need to know about the brand new headset. I still don't have one in hand yet. Come on, Oculus. You didn't think it was a good idea to have the unofficial home for all things Quest, to have an Oculus Quest 2 early like a lot of other people? Regardless of that unfortunate oversight, a lot of you have questions about the Oculus Quest 2 and you want me to give you answers. So I've made this video to give you everything you need to know about the Oculus Quest 2 before you go and pre-order it. Let's jack in and check out everything you need to know about the Oculus Quest 2. Alright, here we go. First, let's talk about the technical specs in the Oculus Quest 2. Unlike the original Oculus Quest, the Quest 2 swaps out its two individual OLED panels for a single 90Hz LCD panel. Now, this panel is a higher resolution panel. It's also able to go up to 90 Hz, which we'll talk about here in just a few minutes. This brand new single LCD screen bumps the resolution up from 1440 by 1680 to 1832 by 1920 per eye. It's approximately 50% more pixels and is nearing the 4K resolution. Plus, each pixel now maps to 3 subpixels instead of just 2. This LCD panel is actually a higher resolution panel than the Valve Index, but it's not quite as high a resolution as the Reverb G2. This new LCD panel is certified for a 90 Hz refresh rate, while the original Quest OLED displays were certified for 72 Hz. Currently, though, the Oculus Quest 2 is still running at 72 Hz, although there is an experimental 90 Hz mode that developers can opt into and allow their games to run as long as there's enough headroom for the game to continue to run properly. Also, upcoming in the future, Oculus Link will be getting 90 Hz support, so the Oculus Quest 2 not only will have a higher resolution display than the current Rift S, but a higher refresh rate as well. All of that said, this means that the Quest 2 will result in a sharper, higher resolution image with less screen door effect, a better refresh rate. Also, as was leaked, this does include the Snapdragon XR2 chip and 6 GB total of RAM, which is 2 GB more than the original Oculus Quest. This allows for much more processing power, which allows for a higher default resolution and a much reduced fixed foveated rendering, which is that blur you'll get around the edges of your peripheral vision at times. Also, thank you, Oculus, for including Ipd Adjustment. If you don't know what Ipd is, it means interpupillary distance, and it is the measurement in millimeters between the center of one pupil to the center of the other pupil. Unlike the original Quest with an Ipd slider, we now have a 3-stage Ipd adjustment, which is not ideal, but at least they allow us a physical adjustment. There are 3 individual Ipd positions that you adjust by hand, and they are 58mm, 63mm, and 68mm. This should result in the vast majority of people being able to set the lenses to a proper Ipd for their eyes, but that also means it's not going to be as precise, and some people, depending on what your Ipd is, might run into issues. Also, that really flimsy kind of crappy looking strap that we talked about previously is exactly that. A really flimsy, not so good, hard to adjust from what I've heard, strap that does not really support the headset weight. So even though you're getting the Oculus Quest for $299 or $399, depending on the version that you got, you really need to upgrade the strap to make it comfortable for actual decent length play sessions. Oculus does offer the Elite strap for $49 or the Elite strap with a battery for $129, which also includes the carrying case. Apparently, this makes a big difference when it comes to the comfort level, and I will be checking out this head strap to see if it works. I have not confirmed whether the current Halo strap I'm using on my Oculus Quest will fit. It's something I'm going to test, and I'm sure if it doesn't, then they'll be coming out with third-party options. Unfortunately, that means you may end up having to buy a new strap, which is not great, but it is what it is. As far as audio goes, there is now only one 3.5mm jack, so if you're used to or like using those split earphones, those are no longer going to work properly. The audio is still piped in through the side straps, although the speakers are now closer to your ears, so the audio quality is going to be about the same as it was in the original Quest. There is still a single headphone jack on the left-hand side, right next to the USB-C port, and this time around, Oculus has partnered with Logitech to create a couple of official Oculus Quest VR audio solutions, including the Logitech G333 VR in-ear headphones priced at $50 and the Logitech G Pro VR at $100. I tried to get my hands on both. Unfortunately, I was only able to pre-order the Pro VR at $100, so I'll be checking those out and seeing exactly how well they work with the Quest 2. Now let's talk about the touch controllers. The touch controllers themselves have been adjusted and are more similar apparently to the original Rift controllers. They are a little bit bulkier, but apparently you could still fit them in some of the grips. They just don't go down all of the way. There is now a thumb rest sensor. The haptics are actually stronger, so you'll get better feedback in the controllers. And one of the biggest things, they have fixed the battery door issue. When it comes to the size of the headset, the Oculus Quest 2 is smaller and lighter than the Oculus Quest. It's about 10% lighter, apparently almost 70 grams lighter than the original Quest, so that will reduce some of the weight on the front, but it is still pretty heavy at the front depending on the strap solution that you use. If you're using that flimsy strap, it sounds like it is very heavy. What with the Elite strap or another potential third-party option, in the future, it'll balance out a lot better. Size-wise, it does seem to be more compact. I'm not sure the exact measurements, but the body has been reduced. Your eyes actually sit closer to the screens. The actual lenses are identical to the Quest, so if you have a prescription lens insert or protective cover, they should work perfectly. And unfortunately, the field of view is approximately the same as the original Quest, although your eyes are closer to the screen, and depending on your IPD, you might get a slight increase in field of view, but for the most part, it's nearly identical. When it comes to games, there's been a lot of questions about whether the Quest 1 titles will transition over to the Quest 2, whether people's libraries will move, or they'll have to rebuy all the games. I can confirm to you that it is the exact same library. In fact, it's using the same exact Quest store, and you use the same login information. So as long as you log in with your existing Oculus ID, then you get access to all of the same games. Some of the devs are already releasing updates to their games to better utilize the Oculus Quest 2's more powerful chipset, which means that not only are you going to be able to play the same games, but many of them are going to look and run even better. Take, for instance, Red Matter. Here is a screenshot from the Oculus Quest original, and here is a screenshot from the Oculus Quest 2. Notice the clarity and how much better the image looks from one to the other. Side by side, you can really tell how much difference the Oculus Quest 2's new hardware makes in these games. Red Matter already looked great in the first place, and now it just looks even better. I mentioned logging in with an Oculus account. There is an elephant in the room with the Oculus Quest 2, and that elephant is named Facebook. Unfortunately, when you buy the Oculus Quest 2, you can't just log in with your Oculus ID. You actually have to connect your Oculus ID to an existing Facebook page in order to activate your Oculus Quest 2, which is going to deter some people and push them in a different direction, but unfortunately that is now the policy for new hardware. It's unfortunate that this is something you have to do, but if you want to get into this brand new hardware, that is something you have to make peace with. Another question I get, which isn't necessarily Quest 2 related, but Quest 2 and Quest 1 related, is are the games for the Oculus Quest 2 going to be available for the Oculus Quest original? And the answer is right now, yes. There is potential in the future, I'm not sure how far in the future, that Quest 2 could get titles designed just for the Quest 2. But as of right now, for the next while, we are going to be getting dual releases for both Quest 1 and for Quest 2. One thing I did forget to mention was the actual Quest 2 battery life. Apparently they've made some adjustments to the batteries in the Oculus Quest, so it should last around the same amount of time as the original Quest, even with the better hardware. But one good piece of news is that the batteries in the controllers apparently are supposed to last up to 4 times longer than the current touch controllers, so at least you won't have to worry about charging your rechargeable batteries quite so often. Another question I've been asked is, can the Oculus Quest 2 run Pcvr quality games? The answer is it's still a standalone headset, so the hardware is still mobile hardware. It's going to run games better than the Quest ran them, but it's still not to the point where it's going to run PC quality games. To do that, you're going to need a PC, either the link cable or virtual desktop. Speaking of virtual desktop, one thing that's kind of up in the air is the Wi-Fi 6 support. I was talking with some people yesterday, and according to Qualcomm, the makers of the XR2 chip, it does have Wi-Fi 6 support, but then on the other side, according to Oculus, it does not. So I don't know the answer to that question. If it does have Wi-Fi 6 though, it has the potential to make virtual desktop even better as long as you have a compatible Wi-Fi 6 router. That was hopefully everything you need to know about the Oculus Quest 2, from the hardware to what happens with the software to the fact that yes, unfortunately you do need a Facebook account linked to it when you get it to activate it. If you have any questions that I did not answer, please leave them down in the comments and I will do my best to gather them up and either make a follow-up video or just answer them in the comments. I want to be able to give you the answers to all of the questions that you have, so please bear with the fact that I don't have a physical Oculus Quest 2 in hand as of yet, and I will do my best to find the answer if I don't know it already. Also, another question I've been getting a lot lately is, will I continue to do original Quest content on BMF with the Quest 2 being so popular? And the answer is absolutely yes. I don't believe that the life cycle of the Oculus Quest original is gone yet. In fact, all of the games announced at Connect and for the foreseeable future will be releasing on both Quest 1 and Quest 2. So even if I'm playing a game on the Quest 2, I'll make sure to tell you and remind you that the game is also coming out for the Oculus Quest 1. Plus, I'll still be checking out hardware, different aspects of things happening for the original Quest. So yes, don't worry, the original Quest on BMF is not going anywhere. If you want to keep up to date with everything Oculus Quest and now Oculus Quest 2, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down there and the bell icon for notifications. Plus, you can check out even more of my Quest-based videos right there. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, thanks for supporting the channel, and happy questing.